Okay, some news updates for today. It's Wednesday, the 20th. We're 5 days away from Memorial Day, the official beginning of summer, and it still feels like winter here in New England. So, New England is a silly place. Don't bother coming here. You're not missing anything except stupidness. So, getting into some of the first news here, we're going to get to the Mexican ship that collided with the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm going to post a video right after this so you can see what they're discussing about the official investigation, what they're claiming is happening. Now there's a he said, she said happening. Mexico is now blaming American port authority for the incident. So apparently, when a foreign ship, I don't know if it's any in general or if it's just visiting ones on this little tour they were on, but either way, so let's just go with a foreign ship comes into American waters. They have to have, or an American city in close proximity, they have to have a captain from that city or from that location's port authority to guide the ship back out to going out to open waters again. So the Mexican naval command didn't even know they had one, but is now saying that the American captain was in command of the ship at the time of the misdirect and going into the Brooklyn Bridge. Now the captain has hired a lawyer. I mean, that can be both suspect and smart, right? Two things can be true at once. That he knows he's in trouble and he's gotten a lawyer is one thing, but to protect himself from whatever could be thrown his way is another. But his lawyer is going to be speaking on here too, and the lawyer on behalf of the client is claiming that the captain, the American Port Authority captain, was in charge at the helm of the ship at the time. He gave orders for the ship to head out of port at point 0.3 knots, and for some reason that he claims that order was not followed, and instead the ship continued to reverse at 6 knots into the Brooklyn Bridge. So now there's a back and forth between both sides. There are teams on there, an investigation happening. Here's the video and a little bit more breakdown of what's being said in our teams as well, Coast Guard as well as the NTSB, which investigates plane, boat, and car crashes, and major car crashes and all of that. Here's that. Take a look at that.
Appears to be a significant change in this story. Now, if you remember on Saturday night when the mayor and other city officials briefed us with what was happening, and to be clear, it was with preliminary information. They talked about an engine failure as a possible cause, and also, if you remember, the NYPD's commissioner then stepped in and said, we're not so sure, that's what we believe right now. Well, that story appears to be changing with what Mexican officials are saying, and what they're talking about does not focus. It changes the focus on the story. It does not focus on the engine room or the engine failure as a reason for this crash on Saturday night. Now let's show you some video of what has been changing here at the scene over the last hour or two. A significant change in that up until this point today, U.S. investigators, whether they be NTSB or the U.S. Coast Guard, had not been allowed on this ship, but we're showing you video right now of the U.S. investigators boarding the Mexican Navy ship. Clearly some were wearing U.S. Coast Guard garb, and some had on their helmets the insignia for the NTSB, which is the lead agency in this case. Now, on Saturday, it was just a matter of about 4 minutes when everything went wrong. The ship was to back out of Pier 17, turn, rotate, and then go forward out towards the New York Harbor. But somehow that ship kept backing up, even picking up speed when it crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 people on board, injuring 20 others. Now the Mexican government has spoken for the first time at a press conference held by the Mexican president. Their naval officials seem to put the focus on the local pilot from our area who was brought on board to guide their ship out of the New York Harbor as our local laws require. Now here's what the Mexico's Navy chief just said.
In particular, in New York, a boat needs to be under the supervision of a pilot from the port. That's approved by New York. And so, all the maneuvers the boat was making once it pulled out from the dock until the collision, that entire time it was under that pilot's control.
Now, Fox 5 was the first to report last night about there being a pilot on board, not the captain, but somebody who's brought on who's a local to be on board to direct that ship out of local waters. Now, we spoke with that pilot's attorney last night who told us the pilot says he backed out of Pier 17 as planned, going at 0.3 knots. But when it was time to change direction and start going forward, he gave the instruction to the engine room. But the boat not only did not change directions, but started accelerating, going backwards. The NTSB says by the time that ship crashed into the Brookyln Bridge, it was going backwards at the speed of 6 knots.
Ship accelerated in reverse. That was certainly not the intent. It came as a shock to the pilot, the ship pilot, that the ship was accelerating in reverse when he was asking for orders to move ahead, and so that was something that was certainly unexpected.
So the focus of this investigation may be changing. We'll keep you posted on details as they become available.